Welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We are hopeful you are a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber. For a low price, you're getting this content in real time. I don't get paid on that, so I've insisted that we have a free option, but that requires Shane to delay the content by a week. If you have an Amazon Prime account, no matter how you watch this, whether you're a subscriber or not, please remember to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. There are instructions in the show description below. It's really simple. You have to renew it every month or so. So just every time you watch, just double click. Make sure you did it. Double check.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. Right now, Doug DeShazer has beautiful lots available adjacent to Koocanusa Lake in northwest Montana. Pull up your RV and access the hookups, or build your own construction. Either way, you have access to world-class fishing, hunting, boating, swimming, biking, hiking, and the internet. No matter where you're looking to buy, make Doug DeShazer your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643.
Okay, our question from Sifted from Zero Kaiser. Why did EA split itself into two so it now has separate entertainment and sports divisions? Do you think EA is preparing to sell the sports division? That's a great question. Which companies might be a good fit in acquiring EA Sports, and would it have to use another name? Does the FTC's pushback on Activision Blizzard make EA Sports less desirable, since console exclusivity for Madden and EA Sports FC would likely be off the table? I don't think they're doing it to sell. I think they're trying to acknowledge how big sports has become. You know, sports used to be 25% of the business. It's probably closer to 50 now. And I think, part of it is the entertainment group declined while sports got bigger. But no, I think, honestly, they're just trying to, reward Vince Zampella for being a god on the development side and give him some real responsibility. Laura Mealy, who is the COO, who's essentially the president of the company, she came out of sports, and I think and so did Andrew, the CEO. So I think that they both really want to kind of shine a light on sports. I don't think it's for sale. I think it's kind of their core identity. The FTC thing, really, that's anti-Microsoft, anti-big tech. The company that should buy EA, period, and should definitely buy EA Sports if it was separate, is Disney. They have the ESPN brand, and they could do all sorts of cool things with EA Sports. But they also have the Disney, Marvel, Pixar, Lucas Entertainment brands, which they could do all sorts of cool things with EA. So if Disney was confident in its ability to actually be a game company, EA is just the best turnkey acquisition, because it's a perfect mesh of all the divisions. And, what Disney sucks at is actually managing games, and what EA is pretty good at is managing games. So I think that's something that makes perfect sense. But Disney's tried games a bunch and failed a bunch, and they just don't seem very committed to it. Iger is not going to make that acquisition. His successor, let's see who his successor is. If he replaces himself with some young guy who grew up playing games and actually understands the power of these brands, yes. But other than Disney, I don't see anybody as a buyer for EA. It's not a Microsoft Game Pass kind of thing. You lose too much pulling content off of a console. So nobody, and the sports leagues lose too much. FIFA doesn't make sense not being on PlayStation, so you couldn't do it. And it doesn't make sense not being on Xbox. Madden doesn't make sense not being on Xbox. So I would say they didn't do it to sell the company. If they sell the company, the best buyer should buy the whole thing, not the sports division. And I don't think anybody's buying them anytime soon. If somebody wanted to pay for EA Sports, they would own EA Sports. I know there are examples of brands that are pieces of the brand are owned by other people and marketed. I'll have to come back on a different episode, because this will take me a little while to search. But I know that exists. And I think it's the Bally brand, where there's Bally Entertainment that I believe was bought by Scientific Games, now called Light and Wonder, and there's the Bally Sports brand, which is a TV network, and they're different owners. But I know there are brands that are owned by different people, and Fox. The Fox brand is owned by Disney and is owned by Fox. Fox News isn't owned by Disney. and 20th Century Fox is owned by Disney. So two different owners of the same brand. You can split it off. So yeah, actually that's probably the best example. I won't come back on a future issue. Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We appreciate your patronage from Patreon and as a YouTube subscriber, and by linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. Remember to do that. You have to redo that every time you watch. I'm sorry, but you got to. Go to the instructions in the show description below. And if you're not doing any of those things, you better follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. I will see you on Twitter. Bye.